welcome to my channel on paper crafting, and this is the start of my second month doing the Collection Obsession series with the Crafty Low or No Spend group. And my collection I'm using this month for October is the Tapestry, what is it called? Tapestry of Time collection from Uniquely Creative. For a while I was in their creative kit club, which means every month I would get a lovely box of their full collection plus embellishments to go along with it. So they also include this great magazine that's got layouts and full instructions, tips and techniques in the magazine. So if you're not already a subscriber, jump in. They are sorry, I have to stop saying they're an Australian company, and their stuff is really beautiful. So that is what I'm using, and this is what I have. I will go through the paper first because that's the main, that's what you base everything off anyway. So it's called the Tapestry of Time collection pack. Includes 16 double-sided pattern papers, 2 each of 8 different patterns. Oh my gosh, no, 2 each of 8 papers. Yeah, okay. So as always, on the little piece of paper they put in that tells you what collection is and what is in the collection, they have embellishments on the back. Now this isn't cardstock weight, this is paper weight, so you can just fussy cut these, or if you've got a brother scan it in and cut these out. So they're bonus embellishments, which are really great. Then I also have a sticker sheet. I believe they're stickers. No, they're not. They're just they're dies as well, die cuts. I get cutter parts they call them. So you would cut around these as well. So they are the embellishments, and it's very old worldy, vintage, I guess, vibe to this collection. Then they always have the watercolor sheets. So these are poppies. Now I think I got some extra things that are Anzac themed. I know I got a pack of embellishments that's Anzac, and I'm not sure if now, because this was April and we're now October, whether this came with it or I purchased this separately. But these are poppies on watercolor paper, so I'm going to have fun coloring them in because I do have some Anzac themed photos to scrap this month. So that's the watercolor sheet, and these are the papers. So this is a map of Australia, vintage map it's called. I bought the when I saw this collection, I went, yes, I really love that I'm getting this one, because I knew straight away I was going to do a story page with this piece of paper, and it was about how my parents loved traveling, and I've already printed the photos. So this is us back in the 70s, I would say, with my nana's caravan that we used to take on holidays before we had our own. The really old Ford, I'm pretty sure that's a Ford Falcon there, station wagon. And we used to travel every school holidays. We'd hook the caravan on and go somewhere. I loved it growing up. It was amazing. Saw most of Australia. Fantastic. So as soon as I saw this paper, I thought that is the page. I know exactly what I'm doing with that paper. Okay, on the reverse side is this beautiful blue wood grain. A little bit of detail in the corners. Okay, and then we have this one called Memories. And this is a really pretty page. A lot of the work is done for you. You could just like put a photo, have that as your first embellishment base, add to it, add a title, a bit more embellishments, and that's a simple page. On the reverse side is this vintage, it's like those old printing plates. It's all letters and symbols and numbers, percentage sign and ampersand and letters and stuff. So it's like the old-fashioned, what are they called? It used to be like what they used to make newsletters and stuff, the great big letterpress type blocks, but in just like the imprint of them. Really cool. Okay, and then you have old time fussy cuts page. So cut all these out. I love the crown. I'm actually going to do a layout on Queen Elizabeth II. I am a royalist through and through. Love the royal family. And I'm still trying to get over the fact that she's no longer with us. So I have some beautiful photos of her that I'm going to scrap to record that story of how I feel about the royal family and what I thought about her. So those crowns are going to come in very handy when I do those pages. So there's some lovely like tickets, tags, old film, phone, kettle, sewing machine. Yeah, great page there. On the reverse is a lovely, I think it's like a fleur-de-lis type of, reminds me of a wallpaper. Very nice. Then we have Reminiscence. Really pretty like blues with the roses. Very nice paper. I love that. It's like sort of vintage shabby chic, so right up my alley. Then we've got another soft design. Beautiful. You know, like a sage green, I guess. And one thing I've noticed on their papers, which I hadn't noticed previous to this, is that they're actually now putting a design on the cut off strip. So you cut off this strip down the bottom with all the information and you can use the reverse side. I don't think they've done that before, or I haven't noticed if they have. This is the first collection I've noticed it in, so I hope they keep doing that going forward. This one is called The Good Old Days, and again, an easy starter page. Put a photo there. Heading embellishments, half done for you. The design is done. I like they even have the little cluster down here. On the reverse side is another great map. And it's old because it's got miles in it. Doesn't say when, copyright date is cut off, but it's of Coolgardie, which is out west, I think, isn't it? I meant to look that up actually, where Coolgardie is. Southern Cross. Is that in Western Australia? I'm not sure. I plan to use this on a page of my grandfather. So, because he was from Western Australia, ended up in the army. Alright, so then we have Old News. A great collage type page with lots of really old things in it. Australian aluminium, something paint, old ink, drawing ink. We used to use the fountain pens, old maps, old checks. Queen Bian, plan of Queen Bian. Clothing ration card. Oh my gosh, wow. So that is an amazing page as well. On the reverse side is really light poppies with a distressed type of look as well. And great words down here in the cut-off strip. Thankful for you. Awesome day. Take notes. Journaled. You can use that as the one strip or cut them apart and use them as little strips on your page. Then Remember When. That's what this page is called. I love this page. It is beautiful. Right up my alley. Gorgeous, gorgeous roses and little butterflies. Very pretty. I love that one. On the reverse side, we have dominoes. So this, I think I'm going to do a future page using this because we love our games, our board games and all sorts of games in this house. And I have lots and lots of photos of us playing games. So that is perfect. I'm going to use that, I think, for a page. Then, oh, this one must be back to front. Hang on a minute. Then we have ephemera. So again, more things that you can cut out and use on your pages. Some really old things, lest we forget. Vanilla extract, honey, old stamps. Wow. I don't know who that is on that stamp. That's the first stamp of South Australia. Would that be Queen Victoria back then or earlier than her? I'm not sure. I don't know who that is. So you must look that up. Yeah, it's a really nice ephemera, and on the reverse side is this really grunge page. So that's the papers in this collection. Really nice vintage collection there. So I also have, to go with that, I have the creative cuts. So I'll just pop these out so we can see what these are as well. Now, I may have used some of these. I'm not really sure. But there's tags. I think I've used a heading or something. Thinking of you. There's an Anzac badge. That'll be handy. Happy birthday. Lots of another heading. Lots of tags. Ephemera. The happy birthday ones obviously are card makers, but there's some nice little tags there too. Flowers. Remember the time. More flowers. A pot plant. More tags. Look at that. Creamy. 5 cents. American ice cream. Self-serve. I don't remember that. Must have been before my time. CWA. Country Women's Association. South Australia. Now, I think it's South Australia because the creative, what are they called? Uniquely Creative Company is in South Australia. A Transparency slides like a slide. I remember I got all my dad's old slides, Gallipoli. CWA, a rose, another Anzacs, happy birthday. That something must have come out of there. Organic dairy ice cream, Oldfields Farm. Delicious fresh brewed coffee. Try our delicious ice cream. So lots of really old looking signs and stuff. A keyhole, another pot plant. Lest we forget, more ice cream. Roses, a lovely world. More flowers. That's a scroll with flowers. Pot plant with flowers. So they're really lovely. So I've got them. And I'm not sure if the Anzac Creative Cuts I have here were part of the initial collection or they were an add-on that you could get. It could have been an add-on. So, but I know I have a long military and naval history in my family, so I definitely wanted the Anzac embellishments. So these are great. Look at that. Anzac. That is amazing. The last post. Oops. Anzac Day, free ticket, a medal, Remembrance Day. Wow, these are really good. Lest we forget, remember, Anzac Day, poppies, bravery, a medal, poppies, lots of poppies in this, which is great. Oh, look at that, redhead matches. Oh my god. Poppies, King George the 4th. I don't know what that is. Indian medal. Not Indian medal. It's a medal for King George. That's the Queen's father, I believe. And then, yeah, lots of great tags. Another medal. That's Queen Victoria. Can't read what that says. I think that's Latin. Something about exhibition, national. Something. Centennial. International Exhibition, Melbourne. Oh, look at that. Anzacs is another 1930 1945 Australia Service Medal. Cool. There's great Anzac themed die cuts there. So like, I don't know whether that was part of the pack, like the collection, or I think it was an add-on. So I'll show you my photos and I'll show you the other stuff. So you've already seen that one. That was going to be one of the layouts, that Australia map. Then I have the Anzac ephemera I'll use for these two photos, which are going to go on the one page. That's my grandfather. I should say step-grandfather. He was my dad's stepdad. My dad's father was lost on HMAS Sydney 2 when it was sunk off the coast of Western Australia, losing all hands. My dad was quite little when that happened. I think he was like 8. And then my gran had 2 kids to raise, so she remarried and married this man. And I only ever knew him as my granddad. Obviously, I didn't know that other gentleman. So this is my granddad. He was in the army. Apparently, he was a Ratatorbrook. So I'm going to do a page on him as well. And then you have my dad, who joined the Navy at 16. He's very, very young there. Not long after he joined, I think. So I'm going to do a page using that photo. And then the last page is of my dad and his sister. So this wouldn't have been long. That was around the time, I think, or he might have been a little bit older. when he lost his father. But this is my dad and his little sister, and they were in Sydney, obviously. That was when people would walk along the street and there'd be a photographer just take their photo of anyone walking along the street. So I have a few of my gran and great grandmother as well, and my gran and her first husband, who was lost on the Sydney, photos taken on the streets of them as well. So they're lovely to have. So they're the photos I have already picked out. Also in the collection, I have these tickets. Now, I don't know if I'll use these on these layouts because they're not really a vintage look. I think they're all the same. They say vintage tickets, but they don't give off the vintage vibe for me. So maybe, you know, I can definitely make them more vintagey, just add some ink and stuff, but I think they're all the same. They're all white and blue, white and blue, white and blue. Yeah, that's a lot of tickets. Wow. So I have them as well. Okay, then I have, these are, what do they call them? Laser cuts. I think they're very fine. They might be cardboard. I don't think they're wooden. I haven't opened them. So I've had this collection since April. I haven't opened these. These are really fine. It's super thick, or just thick cardstock. So these are just laser cut embellishments as well. So I have those. You can ink them, use them as they are, or ink them. Colour them with markers, or just ink with ink, or ink around the edges. Lots of different things. And then I got an album inserts. I think in one of the kits, could have been this one, they included the album. There was an 8x10 album as well, but I don't normally do 8x10, I do 12x12. So I got the inserts to go with the album, then decided, no, I don't think I'm going to use the album, but I can use these on, they're really thick actually. I was trying to separate that one. Now they're really thick. You can use these on a page, and even though they have the holes punched out there to go in the album, you can either trim that off or cover it up. So I thought, well, that's like basically a layer already done. You don't need to cut into your 12x12 papers. You've actually got like the same papers here as what's in the 12x12. And some of them, like, they're a smaller print. I think that's smaller than the 12x12. So it works really well. Like, you don't have to use them in an album. I'm just going to treat them as another piece of pattern paper. So you can use them as a photo mat if you have a large photo. So I could use it if I had a photo like this, and then just add a few embellishments, and then put that on my 12x12 page with just like a border strip or something, and that's a really quick page. So I'm going to treat them as just pattern paper. So I have them as well. And then I have this twine. They say it's natural twine. On the back it says white twine. It doesn't look white. I think it's a natural colour. So I had this as well. This was part of the collection. And it's just your stock standard twine. And I can't get it open. Oh, I know that there's an end there somewhere. Gotta be. There it is. Okay, so that's just their twine. Alright, so that is what I have for October. I'll be back soon with layout number 1, and then one layout each week for the next 3 weeks. So thanks for watching, and if you like this video, thumbs up. If you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe and hit the notify bell so you know when my next video comes out. Thanks for watching, and have a scrap happy day. I'll catch you later. Bye bye.